Hej and welcome to lektion nummer 2, som skal handle om fritid. Hey and welcome to lesson number 2, which is going to be about free time. Oh my god, I can't speak today. Go ahead and open your PDF file and you will see a link at the top of the page which is called Hvad laver du i din fritid? What do you do in your free time or spare time? And I just want you to go ahead, open the link, watch the video. It's only like 1 minute long. It has Danish subtitles on it. See how much you can understand. And there's some verbs that are based around free time, stuff that we do. Go ahead and watch it, come back, and then we will have a chat about it. Velkommen tilbage, welcome back. Okay, let's check out these questions. You can see in the document here, snak om videoen. Hvad handler videoen om? Hvad handler videoen om? Hvad handler videoen om? What is the video about? So how would you answer this, do you think? Here's an example. Den handler om. Yeah, simply, den handler om fritid. It's about free time. We could also say, den handler om hvad personer laver i deres fritid. Den handler om, hvad personer laver i deres fritid, eller hvad folk laver. Måske lyder bedre, sounds a bit better. Den handler om, hvad folk laver i deres fritid. Easy. This word handler is great because we use it a lot, in all languages. What is the book about? What's the movie about? What's it about? What's the story about? Den handler om. Cool, so next question. Hvad laver personerne i videoen? What do the people in the video do? Can you remember any of the verbs? For example, de something. If you like, pause the video, see how many of the verbs you can remember and make a little list in your document. Let's see how many I can remember. So, de cykler, de løber. There was a guy who runs and løber, and he also likes skiing, which is a funny expression. Han løber og står på ski. He stands on skis. I think he said, jeg løber, og så kan jeg også lide at stå på ski. And then I also like skiing, og så kan jeg også måske godt lide at stå på ski. Sådan. There was a little girl in the start who said, jeg tegner. Tegner is to draw. She draws. All these verbs I'm writing here are in present tense. So you notice they're all ending in R. Løber, cykler, tegner, står. What else? There was a really funny black guy who was, from another country, I don't know where, so he had like a little bit of an accent, and it was really cool and fun because he said, så lidt som muligt. And everybody started laughing, like, what do you do in your free time? Så lidt som muligt. As little as possible. As little as possible. Genius. What else? Der var nogen, som spillede fodbold, tror jeg. Spiller fodbold. Play football. I think there's a guy that plays football. And probably another guy that plays music. Spiller musik. Then there was also a woman who said something about kids and food. Did you get that one? And I also loved her reaction because she was like, yeah, passer børn, og they were bell. It was kind of like she doesn't really have any free time. Like, but she said it in a fun way. She was happy. So, what did you say? Yeah, passer børn, og they were mel. Yeah, passer børn, take care of kids, og they were mel. And make food. This word passe, here means to care for. You will notice in some other classes that passe means a lot of different things. And I'm pretty sure I have a video on passe on YouTube, like 7 ways to use the verb passe. So you can check that out if you want. Anything else? There was a woman on a bench who was also very happy as she said, jeg syr patchwork. Yes, patchwork. She sews patchwork, does some kind of knitting. What else? There was also two guys who were a little bit chiffy, like, yeah, cykler. I had him at the start, yeah, cykler. And then the other guy was like, drikker øl på Nyhavn. He drinks beer at Nyhavn. Yeah, drikker øl på Nyhavn. Amazing use of spare time. What else? That was pretty much all of it, I think. There's probably one or two that I'm missing. So if you got them, great. Let's take the next question. Det næste spørgsmål, og det er, laver du selv nogle af disse ting? Do you yourself do any of these things? Do you self any of these things? So here you can just take simply from the list and say, jeg, for example, cykler. So just practice that for a few seconds and then make your own list, make it personal to you, because these are things that you're going to say, So if you play football, practice saying it and writing it here. Jeg spiller fodbold. Go ahead, pause the video, take a minute or so to do it, and then come back. Cool, so I'm going to make my little list here. Jeg cykler. Jeg spiller fodbold. Nogle gange. Sometimes. Jeg... hvad laver jeg ellers? Jeg passer børn. Eller jeg passer et barn. I have a son, so jeg passer børn. I'll just write, jeg passer børn. And jeg løber. I can't scroll sudden der. Jeg løber, og jeg tegner også nogle gange. Næste spørgsmål, next question. Hvor tit? How often? You could also ask hvor ofte, but here I'm using hvor tit. So I could ask you, hvor tit cykler du? Hvor tit cykler du? How often do you cycle? So now we need to know how to say, so once per week, twice per week, once per month, something like that. Any ideas how you might say it? Hvor tit cykler du? Jeg personligt cykler næsten hver dag. Almost every day. Jeg cykler næsten hver dag. But if I want to be more specific, maybe I could say 5 times per week, let's say. Så jeg cykler 5 gange om ugen. 5 gange om ugen. And this thing of om ugen, this will always be the construction of per week, per month, per day. And you're literally saying like during the week. So ugen is the week. So I could say om dagen, per day, om ugen, per week, om måneden, per month, and om året, per year. So what if I say, hvor tit løber du? Hvor tit løber du? For me personally, I might say, jeg løber 2 til 3 gange om ugen. 2 to 3 times per week. I'm not sort of like a religious runner, but I actually prefer running to walking. So if I have to walk somewhere nearby, I usually run there instead of walking. So I'm just doesn't make much sense, but I'm lazy to walk. I'm lazy, like it takes too much time. But whatever. Is my dog making some noise? Okay, 2 til 3 gange om ugen. Let's take one more. Hvor tit tegner du? Hvor tit tegner du? And we'll go into this later, but you'll notice in all these questions, excuse me, I'm kind of using what's known as inversion, which just means the verb is coming first after I ask hvor tit. Hvor tit tegner du? How often draw you? Whereas in English you might say, how often do you draw? Hvor tit tegner du? So another good response might be, not so often. Ikke så tit. Ikke så tit. Cool, okay, let's continue. So here I've written mest brugbare ord og udtryk. Most useful words and phrases. And I'm just like, made a bunch of examples, common expressions that we can use when we're talking about stuff we like, stuff we do. So let's just go through them together. I will give you some examples, and then you can, and I will ask you the question, and you can make your own examples. So for example, jeg kan lide. Jeg kan lide. Jeg kan lide. I like. For example, jeg kan lide sport. Jeg kan lide at cykle. So already you can see I can use this noun. Jeg kan lide sport. Or I can use a verb. Jeg kan lide at cykle. Jeg kan lide vegansk. Maybe I love that, so I'll save that one. Jeg kan lide solskinsvejr. Sunny weather. Jeg kan lide solskinsvejr. Og jeg kan lide what else? Jeg kan lide at træne. I like training. Jeg kan lide at træne. Hvad kan du lide? Hvad kan du lide? So now you can put some examples in here for yourself. And again, check them on Google if you're not sure how to say it. Leave me a comment, write to me if you want to ask me how to say something. But just spend a few seconds making some simple examples. When you finish that, come back and we continue. So, now I could ask you, why do you like it? Because that's something people might ask you in a normal conversation, what do you like about it? So this question, hvad kan du lide ved? So if I'm asking myself questions, but hvad kan du lide ved at cykle? What do you like about cycling? So I can try to expand on it. Hvad kan du lide ved at cykle? Jeg kan lide, at det er en aktivitet. Ja, jeg kan lide at være aktiv. Jeg kan lide at være aktiv. I like being active, and then also the freedom you get with cycling, something I like. So I might just simply say the freedom, friheden, the freedom. If you're like me, you probably don't like waiting for buses and trains, especially when they're late and then they're full of people that smell. I prefer just getting on my bike. I don't have to rely on anyone. Another way of asking the same question would be hvorfor? Hvorfor kan du lide at cykle? That's the same. So let's continue. Next one. Jeg kan ikke lide. I don't like. Jeg kan ikke lide. Jeg kan ikke lide det kolde vejr. Okay, I don't like cold weather. I'm going to try to think of some activities. Jeg kan ikke lide. I mean, it could be cycling, right? Jeg kan ikke lide at cykle. I don't like cycling. Jeg kan ikke lide at løbe. Jeg kan ikke lide at løbe. Notice now I'm using these verbs in the infinitive. So like in English you have to cycle, to run. In Danish you have at cykle, at løbe. Jeg kan ikke lide. Hvad kan jeg ikke lide? Jeg kan ikke lide badminton. It's an example. Hvad kan du ikke lide? 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 So again, go ahead, pause the video, take a few minutes if you need it to write some examples here. What don't you like? Come back and we'll continue. Okay, so same thing here. Hvad kan du ikke lide ved badminton? Or hvorfor kan du ikke lide badminton? Let's take the second one this time. Hvorfor kan du ikke lide badminton? And the most common thing to say here would just be I think, jeg synes, and then whatever you think. So jeg synes det er, for example, kedeligt. Jeg synes det er kedeligt. I think it's boring. I think it is boring. Sådan der. Hvorfor kan du ikke lide badminton? Jeg synes det er kedeligt. Yeah, it's enough. Let's take the next one. Jeg elsker og jeg hader. Well, the next two can go together. I love and I hate. Jeg elsker. Så jeg havde før. Jeg elsker vegansk. Jeg elsker vegansk mad. Sådan der. Jeg elsker. Jeg elsker. Jeg elsker kampsport. Jeg elsker kampsport. Eller kampkunst. Martial arts. You may have heard my podcast on kampkunst. That was pretty fun to make. Jeg elsker at spille fodbold. Okay, I'm repeating a little bit, but no problem. Hvad elsker du? Hvad elsker du? I can also add the word here, lave. Hvad elsker du at lave? What do you love doing? Take a few minutes, make a few examples, look for some words, write to me if you're not sure how to say anything, you can't find it, and come back and we continue. Okay, same thing. Let's take it just one more time. I'm not going to do this hvorfor every single time, but I'll do it for this one. Hvad elsker du ved? Hvad elsker du ved kampsport? For eksempel, hvad elsker du ved kampsport? Jeg kunne sige, jeg elsker, at jeg er med i en gruppe. I love that I'm in a group. You know, of course, I have a group of friends that do it as well, and that aspect of it is really great. So I could say, deassociate. Jeg elsker at deassociate. Jeg elsker at være med i en gruppe. Jeg elsker at jeg udvikler mig. I love that I develop myself. Nice. Okay, so then we have jeg hader, which I always have a problem with writing stuff that I hate, but go ahead and do it. Same thing, you know, what do you hate? I'll try to think of one example. Jeg hader lufthavnen. It's just an example. I don't really hate the airport, but I could say jeg hader at rejse. I hate traveling. I mean, what I mean by that is I hate the part of, you know, going through the airport, going through security control and all that stuff like that. Not that I hate it, but I don't really enjoy it. I love the part when I get to the place where I'm going, but I don't like all that stuff you have to do in the middle. I wish I could just teleportere. Så var jeg der. Okay, so let's go down and let's take the last 1, 2, 3, 4 here that are a little bit more interesting. And the first example here is, jeg er interesseret i. Jeg er interesseret i. Jeg er interesseret i. I'm interested in filosofi. Jeg er interesseret i filosofi. Jeg er interesseret i psykologi. Og jeg er interesseret i teknologi. Right? I'm interested in philosophy, psychology, and technology. Hvad er du interesseret i? Hvad er du interesseret i? Hvad er du interesseret i? What are you interested in? Make yourself a little list, 3 things. Sådan, there we go. So we have the same thing. Hvorfor er du interesseret i? And you can really get yourself used to asking these questions, because when you first start learning a language, the best thing you can have is questions, because then you only have to ask a question and you prompt the person in front of you to continue talking, and in that way the conversation just continues to flow, and you're having a conversation, right? But you are the person that is kind of steering it, because you are asking the questions. So from our last class we had all those question words like vel, hvor, hvordan, hvorfor, and all that. So having those in your mind, a super simple way just to ask hvorfor, hvordan, hvornår, you know, and the conversation keeps going. Så hvorfor er du interesseret i filosofi? Hvorfor er du interesseret i teknologi? And so on and so on. So you get the point. You can go through it and continue making these examples. Let's go on to the next one. Jeg er fascineret af. Jeg er fascineret af. Jeg er fascineret af. I'm fascinated by. It could be something like mennesker. Fascinated by people. Jeg er fascineret af mennesker. Jeg er fascineret af kunst. Art. Jeg er fascineret af historie. Historie would be history. And if you write historia with an R, you could be saying stories. Historia. Historia and historia. History and stories. Pretty much the same word. In historia is a story. Cool. Hvad er du fascineret af? Hvad er du fascineret af? Make a little list. Come back. Hvad er du fascineret af? We have 2 left. 2 tilbage. Jeg brænder for. It's a great one, which literally is like saying, I am burning for. Ooh, I'm burning for. So you can hear, okay, I'm exaggerating it a bit, but it's your passion, something you live for. I live for. Be a good one in English, I guess. So something you're passionate about. Jeg brænder for. Jeg brænder for. It could be familie, family. Jeg brænder for familie, or min familie, my family. Jeg brænder for sangskrivning. Maybe you're into songwriting. Something that takes up a lot of your time. Sangskrivning. Maybe you're into acting. Skuespil. Jeg brænder for skuespil. Jeg brænder for TV og film. Jeg brænder for TV og film. Sådan. Hvad brænder du for? Hvad brænder du for? Hvad brænder du for? I would actually really like to hear what it is du brænder for. So leave a comment, write to me and let me know what it is du brænder for. Så kan vi snakke lidt om det. Then we can talk a bit about it. The last one here. Jeg går meget op i. Jeg går meget op i. You may have heard in English when people say I'm really into something. But there's kind of a bit of a distinction, because you might say in English, jeg går meget op i, and then the name of a band. I'm really into, I don't know, Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? But in Danish, this expression is more like concepts, and again, it's a little bit like stuff du brænder for, things you're passionate about, things that play an important role in your life. So, jeg går meget op i genbrug, recycling. Jeg går meget op i miljøet, the environment. Jeg går meget op i lighed, equality. There's like these kind of concepts that mean something to you. It could be, but it could also be something more simple, like the way that you are, your personality. Maybe you like things to be clean. You like everything to have its place in the house. So that could be something, I don't know. Cleanliness. Jeg går meget op i renlighed. Jeg går meget op i oprydning. Jeg går meget op i oprydning. That's a bit hard to say with two ups. To opper. Jeg går meget op i, at alt skal være på plads. Jeg går meget op i, at alt skal være på plads. Everything needs to be in its place. Hvad går du meget op i? Hvad går du meget op i? Hvad går du selv meget op i? Make a little list, come back. Perfect, so I hope that you made a lot of good examples, and now you have some very clear, simple lines that you can use when you're talking about your free time. I've written here in opgave, a task. Have a conversation with yourself using the above words and expressions. So I know it can be a little bit awkward or weird, but it's a good habit to start talking. And the best way to do it is just to talk to yourself. Talk to your dog, your dog's not going to judge you. But ask yourself the questions. So, have this list and ask yourself, hvad elsker du? Hvad elsker du at lave? And then practice answering it. Hvad hader du? Hvorfor hader du det? Why do you hate that? Hvad er du interesseret i? Jeg er interesseret i det her, fordi, because. You can also try to continue and try to, force your brain to already start using and trying to construct sentences. And the more you listen to Danish, the more you watch TV, listen to music, and all that kind of stuff that you should be doing in your own time, the more it will start to come naturally, and your brain will just start to process it, and it will come out. Okay, so I'm going to read through it pretty slowly, and I'm also going to translate it, and you can practice repeating it as I do it. So, here we go. Hvad laver du i din fritid? What do you do in your spare time? Jeg dyrker kampsport, og så kan jeg også lide at læse. I do martial arts, and then I also like reading. Hvor tit dyrker du kampsport? How often do you do martial arts? 4 til 5 gange om ugen. 4 to 5 times per week. Hvad kan du lide ved det? What do you like about it? Jeg kan lide at bevæge mig, men jeg kan også lide filosofien bag det. I like moving myself, but I also like the philosophy behind it. Brænder du for det? Do you burn for it? Is it your passion? Ja, det gør jeg. Yes, I do. A good example of our short responses from the first class. Hvad er du ellers interesseret i? What are you otherwise interested in? Jeg er interesseret i astrofysik. I'm interested in astrophysics. It's true, I am. Hvorfor er du interesseret i det? Why are you interested in that? Det er fascinerende. It's fascinating. Og hvor tit læser du? And how often do you read? Jeg læser lidt hver dag. I read a bit every day. Sådan, nice. So it was a little bit, unnatural the way I read. So I'm going to read it one more time. Now you understand what everything means. I'm just going to read it naturally as I would if I was just talking. So here we go. Mathias starter. Hvad laver du i din fritid? Jeg dyrker kampsport, og så kan jeg også lide at læse. Hvor tit dyrker du kampsport? 4 til 5 gange om ugen. Hvad kan du lide ved det? Jeg kan lide at bevæge mig, men jeg kan også lide filosofien bag det. Brænder du for det? Ja, det gør jeg. Hvad er du ellers interesseret i? Jeg er interesseret i astrofysik. Hvorfor er du interesseret i det? Det er fascinerende. Og hvor tit læser du? Jeg læser lidt hver dag. Sådan, bust. That brings us to the end of lesson number 2 om fritid. That brings us to the end of lesson number 2. Vi ses i den næste. See you in the next one.